Hi everyone, my name is Kappen. I am one of the Tangled Title Staff Attorneys here at NBLS, and I'm here to talk about 2023 changes to intestacy law, of which there are a few salient ones. So before we get into it, intestacy law refers to what happens when someone dies without a will. The person, sort of referenced later, is the decedent. So anytime I say decedent, that means the person who died. In addition, surviving are people who survived the decedent. Usually they're kids, family members, or people who might be included in a will if there was one. And then the remainder in this case is often going to refer to what is left over from an estate after someone makes the initial gift, sort of prescribed by law. Before we get into our first change, it's important to note that these changes will apply to decedents who have passed after October 1st, 2023. The laws won't apply to every case that you go into. They'll only apply when the decedent has passed after October 1st, 2023. So then we can get to our first change. Our first change regards when there are surviving adult children and a surviving spouse. And once again, this applies if the decedent has passed after the 1st of October, 2023. But in that case, the first thing to see is whether all the children are children of the decedent and the spouse. If there are children of both the spouse and the decedent, then the spouse will receive 100% of the estate. If all of the children are not both children of the spouse and the decedent, then they will go to a different process wherein the spouse will receive $100,000 from the estate, $100,000 from the estate, and then half of the remainder of the estate. And then the children will receive amongst themselves half of the estate to share. The second change comes into play when there are no surviving children, but there is a surviving spouse, and then there are surviving parents. So before October 1st of this year, there would be a distinction between whether or not the marriage between the decedent and the surviving spouse had lasted more or less than 5 years, and that has been removed. So now, in the current law, if there's a surviving spouse, it doesn't matter how long the marriage was, but the surviving spouse can take 100% of the estate. The next change comes when it comes from an institution of a new sort of distinction. It's called the domestic partnership. The law has established that there now will be domestic partnerships that can be registered with the Register of Wills. So at the Register of Wills, they will be keeping track of registered domestic partnerships, which in many cases will create sort of the same functionality for intestacy law as a spousal designation. So before October 1st, there were no domestic partnerships in Maryland, and after October 1st, there's now a domestic partnership registry and an ability to register two people as domestic partners with the Register of Wills. So we can go to our next change under the new intestacy laws. So for decedents after October 1st, 2023, their stepchildren will receive an advanced priority from where they were before. So stepchildren will receive after spouse, children of the decedent, the parents of the decedent, the parents' descendants, the descendants of grandparents of the decedent, like cousins, uncles, those types of things. And now the stepchildren will receive before you get to the descendants of great-grandparents of the decedent. So before, in the list of priority, before the descendants of great-grandparents of the decedent, you will insert stepchildren. So stepchildren will receive that priority. The final change that we're going to get into is that the legislature has destigmatized some of the language around the nomenclature of the law, removing language that refers to children as legitimate or illegitimate, and also removing language that refers to maternal or paternal grandparents. So overall, that covers the changes in intestacy law as of October 1st, 2023. So if you need any help with these issues, please consult an attorney for legal advice. And if you qualify for our service, we'd love to help you. So have a great day.